Say this again, maybe a little bit more plainly. Um, you really are doing the best you can to contribute when you do your job. I know there's a lot of cultures in a lot of the isolated communities that don't have a lot of people visiting them, that you know, your civic duty comes before your job. Your job is your civic duty. If you do that job and keep your observations within the context of your actual job description, and I know a lot of people here do not even know what their job description is, then that really helps in investigations. If you are someone who says, like, who has a routine, has a regular routine of doing your job, if you can be counted on to do your actual job, then you're like a rock. You're like a foundation, and it makes investigation to discover, you know, terrorism, drugs, all these things, whatever, so much easier. It does. So when people, this is okay. So talk about this from the point of view of a business person who is trying to have a legitimate business and to keep all their money in a legitimate economy. When they come into a community where nobody knows what their job description is, nobody's quite sure what their actual responsibilities are. It's just, you can't do anything. Some chain stores, some fast food, and that's about it. You know, basic services, but you can't really put major employment there. You can't really build really like a high-tech community or an interconnected jobs network in a community like that, because you can't rely on anybody's reporting to be correct. You can't rely on anybody's assessment to be correct. You can't make promises to people in other communities based on the output of these communities. And so just stress upon stress upon stress in the system. This can be beneficial to some bad people. Even you know, bad people who also have their own corporate interests. So if you want to prosper, you need to do your job. You need to do your own homework if you're a student. You need to learn. And you need to not interfere with other people doing their job. And people who are telling you that you need to interfere with these people or you'll lose control of the community and that kind of thing. There's lots of different ways to lose control of the community. And they are saying this to you at an age when you don't really have the capacity to understand the topics that they're bringing to you. Trying to get you invested in wrongdoing before you know any better. Because they aren't your government. And they aren't your employer. And they are not invested in you. And you are just like a slutty girl that they can use for whatever they can talk you into, and then they will just kick you out of the car and have no responsibility for you at all.